go ahead and deliver this football quickly. There's Fannin underneath in motion. And that's the newcomer, El Toro Freeman. Has to stick to coverage on Mario Fannin. A little confused, a tricky play there. Again, play action, quarterback 6 is out. Nice job by Neil Cottle.
Byram's point after is good once again. So we had heard about the up-tempo quick strike, and we are seeing it here today.
You see 2 defenders chasing the tailback. You're inside the 5-yard line. Everyone suspects run. So a good play call by Gus Malzahn, a nice execution by that entire Auburn offense.
And Mario Fannin had mentioned how he's going to be playing what most teams call the H-back. Gus Malzahn assigns numbers instead of letters to his positions. That's a number 3, but we're going to see Fannin line up as like a tight end in the slot, in the backfield. He's going to be all over the field looking for ways to take advantage of what he does.
And like Melissa mentioned earlier, if that Wildcat offense, if they do have time to incorporate it, he is a perfect candidate to take the snaps from that position. He played quarterback in high school. He has the arm to do it.
Let's go down to Melissa Lee.
Yeah, you mentioned Mario Fannin and the different positions he'll play. You mentioned H-back. You know, he packed on 20 pounds during the offseason. He did it on his own, and he said that actually helped him. The coaches decide to put him back there because he's bigger now, and it's turned him into a better blocker this spring. Now, if you're worried that playing the H-back and having him block some more might take away opportunities for Fannin to be explosive at that position, don't be. Gus Malzahn's H-back last season at Tulsa, Brendan Marion, had 43 catches and over 1,000 yards receiving, by far the most of any other player on the team, guys.
Well, and they mentioned Tulsa. They had the #1 total offense in the country each of the last 2 years as Cody Burns overthrows Ralph Spry. It's incomplete. And here's when Gus Malzahn, that was actually a live ball because it was technically a lateral thrown behind the line of scrimmage, but nonetheless it goes out of bounds, so it's a loss on the play of about 7 yards. I was going to say about that Tulsa offense, before Gus Malzahn arrived there, they were number 24 in the country. With him, number one, and that was even when Colt Brennan was still at Hawaii. They shot in front of the Warriors. Burns rolling, flag thrown in the backfield. Burns gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but it looks like it may be a hold. And all of a sudden, things changing a bit for the Cody Burns offense. Looks like A.J. Green. It is A.J. Green.
Difficult a lot of times as an offensive lineman when your quarterback's going to roll out like that. That defender sees it really before you do. So you might be locked on, and all of a sudden he changes direction. You don't want to lose grip. You don't want to turn the guy loose because the last thing you want is your quarterback to take a hit. The referee sees the jersey being yanked. That flag's going to come out.
So that'll bring a 2nd and forever, 27 yards. Burns trying to buy time, looking up top. Had a man for a moment in Derek Winter, but overthrew him just a bit, and Winter had a step on the secondary.
You saw Cody Burns put a lot of muscle behind that throw, and it came out as a little bit of a line drive. That's one where maybe you want to put a little more air under it and pull your receiver back towards the middle of the field. Puts a lot of muscle behind that throw, but you see the space over to the right of your screen. Had time to let that receiver run under that football, one that Cody Burns, I guarantee, would love to have back.
So would Derek Winter, because he did his job. He slipped behind the secondary and had a step. Now 3rd and forever. Couple of play actions to try to buy time. Burns got to go up the middle and then touch football with the quarterbacks. He's down, and so the defense will add to its total, and they finally get the Cody Burns unit to have to punt. It's a 3 and out, so you can score 2 points for the defense. And a tackle for loss. So the defense is going to move up to 22 points now as they close the gap as we approach 1:30 and counting on the running clock for Gene Chizik here in the 3rd quarter of the spring game.
Those defenders love that 3rd and long. Those front 4 can just tee off, go after the quarterback, really not so much to worry about as far as contain, as far as lane assignment. You stay in your rush lanes, but at the same time, you're going after that quarterback.
Ted Roof's guys get some points, and Neil Caudle's unit's going to come out. They're going to forego the punt here. and turn things over for Caudle. You can see what he's done today. He's thrown the only touchdown pass of the spring game, and his unit will start at the 30-yard line. Caudle tries to buy some time with play action, hits Harry Adams. First down, and Adams is dropped around the 42, make it a 13-yard pickup as he'll spot it closer to the 43, and Harry Adams makes his first catch of the day, the converted defensive back after a couple of drops and some issues out there. Has got to feel good about getting his first one.
Has to build some confidence, and a good decision by Neil Caudle. That play was designed off the play action to go out into the flat again. He pulled up immediately, saw Adams crossing in space.
Closing moments of the third quarter here. This is Fannin, his first carry of the day. Gets his way toward midfield. We'll see if they're able to get one more play off before the third quarter comes to an end. But Mario Fannin, we mentioned he'll be all over the place. He's caught the ball, now he's running the ball.
And by Fannin lining up outside and kind of that slot position, what it does is it forces that linebacker to walk outside the tackle box. That gives the offensive lineman a better angle on that linebacker when the running play does go that direction.
And the clock has expired for the third quarter. And so far, so good. The Auburn spring game has been A for A-Day through three quarters. Welcome back to Auburn. Let's go down to Melissa Lee, who's got the boss man with her.
Yeah, Gene Chizik joining me now. And Coach, your initial thoughts on this spring scrimmage?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is this crowd. Awesome crowd. Great crowd to come out here and root the Tigers on. But, you know, it's back and forth, and, you know, the kids are having fun. That's the main thing we're trying to get out of today.
We've heard a lot about the defense, kind of taking over the offense in the past scrimmages you guys have had closed. Out here today, the offense looking pretty darn good, getting the play action passes, and of course the running backs finding some holes in open space.
Well, the bottom line is we've really, I think we've come a long ways on defense from the beginning of spring, so we really are proud that they've made so much progress here in the last week or so. And today we challenge the offense to come out here and be able to run the football and make some big plays, and I think both of those things have happened today. Did
either quarterback put himself ahead of the other in today's game?
Well, I don't think so. I think they've both done some good things, and you know, again, this is going to be a long, drawn-out process, and so we're going to evaluate it all the way through the summer and evaluate it all through 2 days, and you know, that start will probably be named real close to the season opener.
I asked you earlier in the week how you would feel walking out of that tunnel into a crowd out here at Jordan-Hare Stadium as the guy in charge in the front leading the pack. How did it feel?
I just feel blessed. I mean, that's the bottom line. I just feel very blessed to be here, and it was very exciting and just a great moment for me personally to be able to run out of that tunnel. And again, I'm blessed to be here.
Thank you, Coach Gene Chizik, joining us. We appreciate your time. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you, Coach. And Cole, you know, in talking to Coach Chizik about that yesterday, Melissa had asked him about coming out of the tunnel, and he said, you know, when he was here as a coordinator, he was up in the booth. He'd never done it. Neil Caudle, an incomplete pass while Coach was talking here. He hits Mario Fannin, who shakes a tackle and gets across the 40. Inside the 35. We had mentioned how Gene Chizik had been here before as defensive coordinator, part of that undefeated season in 2004. And certainly had a couple of stops before he got here, but then went to Texas, where he was the defensive coordinator on the national championship team in 2005. Back-to-back undefeated seasons at the highest level college football has to offer.
Back-to-back Thorpe Award winners as well, so that's one way he can help recruit some DBs here to Auburn.
First and 10, Neil Caudle airing it out for the end zone. Caught, touchdown, Darvin Adams. Neil Caudle with his second touchdown pass of the day and another feather in the helmet of the offense.
Well, and Caudle sees the defender get his hips turned. Again, good protection up front, slide protection, so he knows he's going to have time. Delivers a nice tight spiral. Like I said, safety just gets his hips turned, unable to make an adjustment on that football.
So Darvin Adams has had an impressive spring. It's a 34-yard touchdown catch. And wide receiver coach Trooper Taylor, heard Melissa mention how he really challenged his wide receivers. The perception was they weren't very good. Well, they are answering the call today. Darvin Adams with the touchdown catch to extend an impressive lead by an impressive offense today.